By Teplic Laser Surgery Centers, your vision for the future.
On World News Tonight this Wednesday, the government struggles to deal with reports that New Year's celebrations in 3 cities could be hit by terrorists. How much should they say without inducing panic? A local phone company allowed to sell long-distance service for the first time in 15 years. More competition. Will it mean lower phone bills? The most promising new drug for severe asthma to come along in 25 years, and a closer look at the very advanced science of merchandising, sophisticated tactics retailers are using to influence what you buy.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. Sitting in tonight, Aaron Brown.
Good evening. It is a very delicate dilemma for the U.S. government. How does it deal with the possibility of a major threat to public safety without creating a major panic a week and a half before New Year's? In Seattle today, Ahmed Rassam, arrested last week for bringing bomb-making ingredients into the country from Canada, was charged by a grand jury with 5 counts of possession of explosives, firearms, and providing false statements to enter the country. And today, the Justice Department issued another somewhat vague warning to Americans to exercise caution while attending holiday celebrations. But ABC's John Miller has learned that behind the scenes, the government's concerns are not nearly as vague.
For several weeks, U.S. intelligence officials have been receiving unverified warnings from their foreign counterparts that teams of terrorists were trying to enter the United States and assemble bombs from raw material in several major U.S. cities, including New York, Washington, and Seattle. ABC News has learned that after Ahmed Rassam was arrested, allegedly transporting bomb-making materials to Seattle, U.S. officials took those threats more seriously. 4 days after Rassam's arrest, a memo outlining the intelligence information was circulated to federal law enforcement agencies. Since Monday, the White House, the FBI, and the CIA have been trying to decide how much to say about the intelligence publicly, and whether or not to name specific cities like New York, Washington, and Seattle. Seattle is planning a millennium celebration at the Space Needle. Washington, D.C. expects hundreds of thousands at the Lincoln Memorial. And New York expects a record crowd in Times Square. One reason officials have been hesitant to name specific cities in any warning was that the information is hard to verify. It came from foreign intelligence agencies without what a senior White House official called a credible, corroborated, specific threat. The official said the warning the Justice Department issued today was carefully weighed to provide caution without undue alarm. For investigators, the #1 priority is to locate any other suspects who may have been involved in the Seattle plot. Sources confirmed to ABC News they are looking for a second man today, Abdelmajid Dahomani, a man they believe may have helped mix the homemade nitroglycerin in a Vancouver motel. John Miller, ABC News, New York.
Tonight, the problem for the government is what to say about all this. Say too much and you run the risk of creating a panic. But is that worse than saying too little? Here's ABC's Terry Moran.
For the past 5 days, top administration officials have struggled over what to tell the American people about threats of terrorism. Today at the Justice Department, this was the result.
We ask the American people to be vigilant during this period, especially in cities where large millennium or religious activities are planned.
That carefully crafted statement, approved by White House, Justice, Intelligence, and FBI officials, captured the administration's dilemma: how to caution, not panic, the public. At the State Department, where officials say they have more specific and credible threats against Americans overseas, there was a stronger, yet still measured caution.
We are urging them to be vigilant and to be mindful of their surroundings, and we are urging them to avoid large crowds and gatherings.
But the words that may have the biggest impact came from the president himself, who tried to sound both reassuring and cautionary as he told people to enjoy their holidays, but
I think it would be good for them and good for us if they would just be careful and not suspicious, but aware of the circumstances. And if they see anything that doesn't look right, to report it to us.
part of the problem for the administration is that so much of counterterrorism deals with shadowy threats that turn out to be empty and leads that fizzle. As one senior administration official put it, you just can't tell the American people about every phone call that comes in. Aaron?
Terry, thanks. Terry Moran at the White House tonight. On the money tonight, phone bills are going to go down. Federal Communications Commission said today that it will allow Bell Atlantic to become the first regional phone company since the breakup of AT&T 15 years ago to sell long-distance service. ABC's Bob Jameson on a new era of competition in the telecommunications industry.
It's like that long-distance nickel plan where they say it's a nickel.
If there weren't already enough advertising for long-distance service, Bell Atlantic's entry into the competition guarantees even more.
Welcome to Bell Atlantic.
Though there will also be more intrusions from telemarketers, consumer advocates predicted lower prices and simpler prices.
It's terribly confusing for the consumer to figure out with a monthly fee and a minimum charge what number of cents per minute really is a better deal for them. We're hoping Bell Atlantic's entry, more competition and choice, will actually simplify matters.
Since the AT&T breakup fostered competition, long-distance prices have fallen dramatically, from an average 32 cents a minute in 1984 to 11 cents a minute last year, a drop of 65%. It's not only long distance that will now cost less. Bell Atlantic's price for permission to enter the lucrative long-distance market was to end its monopoly on local service in New York, opening its network to competitors. The same could eventually happen across the country.
And that means that we'll have Bell companies fighting for long-distance customers, and we'll have long-distance carriers fighting for the traditional Bell base of the residential local customer.
Nobody was predicting today just how low prices might go. But consumers may finally get something they can understand. A single price for all phone service, local, long-distance, wireless, and internet. Bob Jameson, ABC News, New York.
Also on the money tonight, the economy growing even faster than the government had predicted. The gross domestic product, which measures all goods and services, was up 5.7% in the third quarter. And on Wall Street today, the Dow Jones Industrial Average up about 3 points to close at 11,203. On the NASDAQ, stocks up 26 points. When we come back, a whole new way to treat asthma and how to enrage an entire city. An Atlanta baseball player gives his views on New York.
This is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. Brought to you by Theraflu.
In this life, there's just no stopping. No break for a hacking cough. No rest for a raw, sore throat, aches, fever. But when you're desperate for relief, there is Theraflu. Fast, powerful, hot liquid therapy. With the first sip of that soothing hot liquid, you feel relief is on the way. Soon your throat is soothed, your cough calmed. Maximum strength Theraflu. Now in new honey lemon chest congestion and cough. Instant comfort, powerful relief.
Now our first denture cleanser keeps dentures feeling clean all day. New Fix-It-Dent with ProGuard, a breakthrough tablet and bath system. First, place your dentures into the bath and release the power of ProGuard to get them 4 times cleaner. Then you lift the inner basket to help seal in the clean with the ProGuard barrier, protecting against plaque and odor-causing bacteria from morning till night. Fix-It-Dent with ProGuard. Start cleaner, stay cleaner.
Hey, Annie Matthews. What's on your plate today?
Today's going to be great, but really busy. 10, maybe 15 cuts.
Lunch is here, Annie.
I'll probably grab a quick bite when I can.
Annie, your 2 o'clock's here.
And maybe get heartburn. I used to think Tums if I'd already eaten. Not anymore.
Now you can take Pepcid AC whenever you need it. Pepcid AC controls heartburn before, during, or even after you eat.
Of course I can take you.
No matter what's on your plate, today should be heartburn-free with Pepcid AC.
Out here, am I supposed to say, slow down, I'm constipated? I don't think so. So I rely on doctor-recommended Metamucil. Works with my body, gently, which is important to a sensitive guy like myself.
Aren't there enough reasons in your life to talk to your doctor about Zocor? To learn more about Zocor, ask your doctor. Zocor, be there.
Medical news tonight, a radical new approach to treating serious cases of asthma. A report in tomorrow's New England Journal of Medicine offers hope that the treatment could replace the potentially dangerous drugs that patients now get. Here's ABC's Bill Rediker.
For those who suffer from severe allergic asthma, the new genetically engineered medication may be the most promising treatment in 25 years. Clinical trials show that the drug, called anti-IgE, reduced asthma symptoms, excessive coughing, wheezing, and tightness of the chest.
It seems to favor younger patients or patients whose disease has been present for a shorter period of time.
The drug must be injected, but it eliminates the need for steroids, the most common treatment for asthma, which produces unwanted side effects such as osteoporosis and high blood pressure. Doctors caution a lot more study is required.
Can this be tolerated by somebody, for instance, who has heart disease? Can this be tolerated by people who have diabetes? So there's all kinds of questions that you need to answer.
If approved by the FDA, the new drug could be available in about a year and a half. Bill Rediker, ABC News, New York.
A success today for the NASA spacewalkers. 2 astronauts performed delicate surgery on the Hubble Space Telescope, replacing the gyroscopes that steady the Hubble so it can take those remarkable pictures of distant stars. One of the gyroscopes broke last month. That disabled the telescope, but the replacement was tested late this afternoon, and it works fine. Overseas from Chechnya tonight, there are reports that Russian commanders are planning a special operation to capture the capital of Grozny. The Russians have made it almost impossible for reporters to get to that city, so this is a rare look inside the capital at people fighting and living under the heavy rain of bombs. Here's ABC's Clay Scott.
Chechnya's capital is a city under siege. It's also a place where children play, where 3 card tables pass for a market, where Chechen guerrillas have a swagger in their step. These fighters are armed mostly with battered automatic rifles. The few rounds they fire toward the Russian lines seem more for show than for effect. The Chechens have had some success on the battlefield. Here, a rebel commander shows off dead Russian soldiers, and his biggest prize, a terrified 19-year-old Russian captive. This is what's left of the Russian army, he says. Nothing remains of his battalion. For all the bravado, the Chechens know an all-out Russian onslaught is just a matter of time. 250,000 people lived here. Today, only a few thousand. During lulls in the bombing, they venture from their basements to forage for water and food. If you have money, you can buy a cup of soup, some cigarettes, a bar of soap. But most simply enjoy a few precious minutes in the daylight. For children, a chance to play. For their parents, a time to share news with neighbors and check to see how many of them have survived another day. This woman did not. She froze to death, huddled alone in her unheated apartment. This family is luckier. They have a basement to hide in and enough to eat. It's hard to understand why these people have stayed in Grozny. Many are old. Some are in shock. All must be terrified. But they are also extraordinarily defiant. I don't have much, says this woman, but I'm not going to let them take it. If I die, it's not a big loss. But I won't let them take my home. Clay Scott, ABC News, Moscow.
In Miami today, the Immigration and Naturalization Service says it's putting off a hearing on the fate of the 6-year-old Cuban refugee until the 21st of January. So for now, Elian Gonzalez is getting ready for Christmas with his relatives in Miami. The INS is busy working behind the scenes. It's still possible that a decision on sending him back to Cuba could be made before the 21st. In just a moment, the pleasure of discovery, the thrill of stock and shoot. A closer look at the science of retailing.
If you wear dentures, imagine how nervous teaching teenagers could make you feel. What if your dentures slipped? But thanks to the all-day hold of Super Polygrip, those days are over. I think that says a lot about the power of Polygrip.
Yoo-hoo! Ready?
Ready for a better way to get my fiber.
Use your concentration.
New Phillips Fiber Caps don't contain sweeteners like most powders. They're concentrated, so they're just as effective as Metamucil. New Phillips Fiber Caps, effective fiber therapy without the powder.
K.J. McAllister mailed in her entry. Beverly Cook mailed in her entry. But this Super Bowl Sunday, you could win $21 million without mailing in an entry. Publishers Clearinghouse introduces PCH.com. Just go online, enter, and you could win $21 million. Of course, if you want to mail it in, that'll work too. So watch your mail or go to PCH.com. And on Super Bowl Sunday, the $21 million winner could be you.
What if you could treat wrinkles like an expert would? With Rock, the #1 anti-wrinkle cream in France, you can. Developed with dermatologists, Rock's pure and active form of vitamin A works deeper inside skin surface. In a 12-week study, the appearance of fine lines was reduced by 86%, wrinkles by 42%. Something more superficial beauty treatments could never promise. Rock, we keep our promises.
I was about as miserable as a girl could be. Heartburn worse than yesterday's coffee. And pain. My antacid didn't do the whole job. And Pepcid takes so long. Then I tried Alka-Seltzer. It just plain worked better.
Alka-Seltzer, the only one with the medicines to relieve all your symptoms.
It really works fast.
And only Alka-Seltzer has the effervescent power to speed relief.
Alka-Seltzer. It made a believer out of me.
Get better relief. Get Alka-Seltzer.
Take a closer look tonight at the science of shopping. This last week before Christmas is, as always, critical for retailers. Estimates are that there'll be $185 billion in Christmas sales this year, 6% more than a year ago. And the retail business is more competitive than ever. Analysts say 1/3 of all stores in business this season won't be around 10 Christmases from now. There are simply too many of them, which is why retailers can't afford to leave anything to chance. The most successful of them don't. Here's ABC's Betsy Stark.
To you, it's just a store entrance. To retail consultants, it's a decompression zone. And they know from studying shoppers on thousands of hours of videotape that after pausing momentarily here to get your bearings,
We generally tend to drift to the right.
to the right because most of us are right-handed and all of us drive on the right side of the road. Paco Underhill, who gets paid to understand these things, sees shoppers as members of a vast consumer tribe with very predictable behaviors.
Part of our purchase process here is that we need to pet it. That's what we call it. America Pets product.
Which is why many retailers have made table displays a staple of merchandising. Women are sensitive about being crowded when they shop.
The more likely you are to be brushed from the rear, the less likely you are to convert from a browser to a buyer.
And men like stores that make it easy for them.
I'm a hunter. I want to come in, stalk it, shoot it, and get out. Whereas you're a gatherer. You get some pleasure out of discovery.
In the well-planned store, there is a reason things are where they are. Nothing is by accident. Everything is by design.
You can see that this case in front of us is angled so that the merchandise first is shown towards you, and that's purposefully designed.
At this Saks Fifth Avenue in suburban Connecticut, the aisles are designed to circulate customers through the entire store. Destination items, such as business suits and shoes, are located in the back, forcing customers to browse through less essential purchases on the way. Impulse items, such as cosmetics, are located at the entrance to tempt you on the way in and out. And it's not just your eye the retailer is engaging. All 61 Saks stores around the country play a customized mix of music they receive by satellite. Muzak can now be programmed to suit the customer's energy level hour by hour.
9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday is quite different than 5 o'clock in the afternoon on a Friday evening.
Victoria's Secret emits a customized scent, generally a new perfume it's trying to sell. Anything that puts you in the mood to buy, retailers will try. And more, they know exactly what it takes. Betsy Stark, ABC News, New York.
Now, tapping into the psychology of the online shopper is a very different task. A frustrated shopper in the online world can leave one store and head for another with a click of a mouse instantly. The e-retailers are learning that to keep you in their store requires not just the latest, fastest, and best technology and the right products. Humans help. ABC's Richard Gisbert is in Paris tonight.
This week, Paris is the city of Christmas lights. On the streets, in the store windows, reflected on the faces of children.
That's nice.
Sylvie Koenig-Dussault is shopping in Paris from her home in South Carolina.
I am looking for a baby outfit.
Unlike many online customers, Sylvie is actually getting some sales help from Letitia Amons. Letitia wears a laptop computer, communicating with Sylvie by email, and inline skates because the store is so big.
I asked her which brand she'd like. I am typing the name of the brand I would like to see, and it's Baby Dior. And she answered Baby Dior.
Very French.
Letitia finds the product and shoots it with her digital camera to show the customer.
It looks nice. I take it.
Sold to the lady in South Carolina, who's in the market for e-commerce with the human touch. E-commerce that can answer questions.
Such as, what's the difference between the two sizes? Or what size should I buy for a baby that age?
This is one department store's strategic response to a dilemma. How to sell over the internet when your inventory, more than 1.5 million items, is just too big to lump into a database. If the web camera is to catch on, the technology has to get better. This little camera can provide an image, but it can't always capture the kind of detail that a customer needs to make a purchase. So selling a tie is easy, but selling a brooch is not because it's too small. The customer in the store gets a much better look. And it wouldn't be the net without technical glitches. They are frequent and frustrating. Still, when it works, the web cameras are something to see, selling to shoppers who are online, occasionally bewildering shoppers who are not. Richard Gisbert, ABC News, Paris.
Signs of shopping. When we come back, what, if anything, should be done about the professional baseball player who says he doesn't like foreigners, gays, or New Yorkers?
Oh, I should have used Preparation H. Cool it fast with Preparation H Cooling Gel. Cools on contact for fast relief. Preparation H Cooling Gel cools on contact.
Don't get that, Frank.
Hello? Baxter!
New Meow Mix seafood middles. Mackerel and tuna flavors make it taste so good. Cats ask for it. By name.
I may look young, but I'd still suffer from hot flashes. I discovered a natural way to deal with it. New Healthy Woman from the makers of Monistat. Healthy Woman's a soy menopause supplement that helps relieve hot flashes in a natural way. New Healthy Woman.
Tonight, like never before, you can relax and not worry if your dentures are clean. Because you started the day with new Fix-It-In Cleanser with ProGuard. This unique tablet and denture bath system not only gets dentures 4 times cleaner, it creates the ProGuard barrier, proven to protect against plaque and odor-causing bacteria all day, so that clean feeling lasts from morning till your goodnight kiss. New Fix-It-In with ProGuard. Start cleaner, stay cleaner.
Heartburn caused by acid reflux. Some prescription medicines promise you freedom from the pain.
But what kind of freedom is getting locked into taking a pill every day?
Ask your doctor. He may recommend you take Gaviscon whenever you need it. Gaviscon tablets are different. They become smooth and creamy on the way down, forming a soothing protective barrier that helps keep acid down.
Why get locked in to taking a pill every day when Gaviscon gives me relief?
Gaviscon, relief from acid reflux without a prescription.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse.
You are in the fight of your life, just you against your smoking addiction, one-on-one. Trouble is, it's not a fair fight, and few people win it. But you can give yourself a fighting chance to win with Zyban. Zyban doesn't work for everyone. Zyban is part of a comprehensive program from your doctor to help you stop smoking. It's different from nicotine replacements. Zyban is the only prescription medicine that's nicotine-free, so you don't have to stop smoking all at once. As Zyban reduces your cravings, you feel like smoking less and less until you're ready to stop completely because you're ready to win. You should know there is a risk of seizure associated with Zyban. To reduce the risk, don't take Zyban if you have or have had a seizure or eating disorder, or if you take Wellbutrin. Don't take Zyban if you use an MAO inhibitor. Side effects may include dry mouth and difficulty sleeping. Ask your doctor if Zyban is right for you, because it can help you quit smoking by making it a fight you can win. Zyban, you don't have to quit all at once.
Tonight, take an emotional journey with this man. Abandoned as a boy, he searches for a miracle in the land of poverty and despair he knew as a child. looking for the mother he thought he lost.
The happiest day of my life.
An unforgettable 2020 tonight.
Coming up next on Channel 2 News, Y2 chaos in the Northwest. Its potential is keeping local FBI agents on their toes. And hear how one woman's love for her special daughter brought little angels to the Rose City. I'm Steve Dunn. News from the Northwest is next.
Brief review of our lead story. Tonight, the government issued another warning that Americans should be cautious during New Year's celebrations. ABC News has learned that U.S. officials have been getting intelligence information about possible terrorist attacks against major American cities for weeks and began to take them more seriously after the arrest of Ahmed Rassam near Seattle. Finally, tonight, John Rocker. Until today, John Rocker was a name well known to baseball fans and not very well known to anyone else. Because of comments he made to a reporter for Sports Illustrated magazine, Rocker, a relief pitcher for the Atlanta Braves, has insulted an astonishingly large number of people, and tonight is learning an old lesson. It's a lot easier to create a mess than clean one up. Here's ABC's Morton Dean.
When Rocker's laser-like fastball or slider cut through the strike zone in the late innings of a game, hitters' bats rarely answered back. But when Rocker expressed his hatred for the notoriously vocal New York Mets fans this season, they were not intimidated.
You redneck! Redneck! Come on, redneck!
Rocker on New York, quoted in the latest edition of Sports Illustrated. A ride on the number 7 subway train to the Mets ballpark, depressing. Some kid with purple hair next to some queer with AIDS. You can walk an entire block in Times Square and not hear anyone speaking English. The biggest thing I don't like in New York are the foreigners. How the hell did they get in this country, he asks. That's not expected to sit well in a sport where 21% of the major league players are foreigners, including at least 7 on his own team last year. There was no reaction from Major League Baseball or the Atlanta Braves today, except that Rocker's comments will be reviewed. But fans in Atlanta and New York had plenty to say.
Personally, I think the guy needs to get a life, and if he wants to say something like that, he should come to New York.
Yeah, this is nothing new. I mean, you got an idiot that got a mic in his front.
When Cain killed Abel,
yeah,
it's been that old.
Exactly.
I think all of us are horrified and hope that as quickly as possible that this young man will understand that his comments can do great damage to the world around him.
In their contracts, players pledge to the public to conform to high standards of personal conduct, and disciplinary action, a fine or suspension, can be taken for what's called just cause. Rocker was apologetic late today. In a written statement, he said, "I have gone way too far. I am not a racist." No matter what Major League Baseball eventually decides about John Rocker, Mets fans are not likely to lower their voices. Morton Dean, ABC News, New York.
And that's our report on World News Tonight. I'm Aaron Brown in New York for all of us at ABC News. Good night.
From ABC News tomorrow, their dad wants to move the family to the White House. Now the Forbes girls talk with Diane Sawyer about their father and the presidency on Good Morning America tomorrow. And on World News Tonight, understanding the legend from ancient times till today, why we believe what we do about Christmas. Watch World News Tonight. This has been a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source.